Hi and welcome. In this video, we will see how we can check the sign of a function. Consider the function f, which is defined from a to b. Then the sign of this function can be positive, negative, or zero, or can be a combination of all three. The function is positive at x equal to a, which is of course taken from the domain of the function, if the value of the function at that point is positive. That means if f of a is positive. Likewise, the function at this point is negative if the value of the function, in other words, f of a is negative. Obviously, the function is zero at this point if f of a is zero. As an example, consider the function f of x equals to minus 2x plus 10. In order to see for which values of x this function is positive, we just let the function to be positive. Minus 2x plus 10 bigger than 0. Solving this linear inequality, we take 10 to the other side. Minus 2x is bigger than minus 10. Dividing both sides by minus 2 changes the direction of inequality. As a result, x is less than 5. This means that the sign of this function is positive for all x less than 5. Likewise, in order to find the values of x for which the function is negative, we just let this function to be less than 0 and solve this linear inequality, and we get that for x and for all values of x bigger than 5, the function is negative. In the same way, in order to find the value of the x for which this function is 0, we let the function to be 0 and solve this linear equation, and we find that for x equal to 5, the function is 0. We could also use the graph in order to study the sign of the functions. For example, consider this quadratic function. We know that the function is positive if it's above the x-axis. It's 0 when it's on the x-axis. The function is negative when the function is below x-axis. In particular, in this function, we see that the function intersects x-axis at minus 4 and 3. Therefore, for x equal to minus 4 and plus 3, the function is 0. For all values between minus 4 and 3, as the function is above the x-axis, the function is positive. For all values of x at the left of minus 4, since for those x, the function is below x-axis, the function is negative, as well as for all values bigger than 3, since for those values of x, again, the function is below x-axis, the function is negative. In other words, this function, which is h of x, is 0 for x equal to minus 4 and 3, which are these 2 points. This is positive when x is between 4 and 3, that is this part of the function. And then the function is negative for x less than minus 4, which is on the left side here, or for x bigger than plus 3, which is on the right hand side here. Thanks for watching and good learning.